Welcome to our channel, where we bring you all the latest and most emotional stories from the world of WWE. In today's video, we'll discuss the heartbreaking losses of legendary wrestlers who left us too soon. These untimely passings, caused by various tragic reasons, shook the WWE universe forever. But that's not all. We also have some very sad news about Liv Morgan. Stay with us till the end to find out more. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Jocephus, born on March 19, 1980, in Kansas City, Missouri, was a distinctive presence in the world of professional wrestling. Known for his captivating persona and storytelling prowess, he left a lasting mark on the independent wrestling scene and gained particular recognition during his time in the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA. His blend of technical skill and theatricality made him a memorable performer who connected deeply with fans. Before turning professional, Jocephus honed his abilities as a talented amateur wrestler. Under the guidance of respected trainers, he developed a strong foundation in wrestling technique and an appreciation for the art of the sport. This background helped him create a unique in-ring style that combined traditional wrestling moves with creative storytelling. One of Jocephus's most memorable contributions to wrestling was his character known as the Question Mark. This enigmatic persona wore a mask and rarely spoke, relying instead on gestures and body language to communicate. Drawing from classic wrestling archetypes, the character was mysterious and intriguing, adding depth to his matches and captivating audiences. His performances were a mix of solid wrestling and dramatic flair, making each appearance compelling and unpredictable. Jocephus also competed in various other independent promotions, including Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, where he cultivated a loyal fan base through his charisma and in-ring ability. Sadly, Jocephus, leaving behind a legacy cherished by wrestling fans and fellow wrestlers alike. His innovative character work and dedication to the craft have ensured his place in wrestling history as a performer who brought passion and creativity to every match. Jerry Winston Jarrett, September 4th, 1942-2023, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling, known as both a talented wrestler and a visionary promoter. Born in the mid-southern United States, Jarrett's influence on the wrestling industry was profound, earning him the title of a wrestling genius and a well-deserved induction into the National Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame in 2009. Jarrett's wrestling journey began in the 1960s after training under notable mentors Tojo Yamamoto and Sailor Moran. He made his in-ring debut in 1965 and quickly established himself as a skilled competitor, particularly in tag team wrestling. Partnering with his mentor Yamamoto, he won several prestigious titles, such as the NWA Mid-America Tag Team Championship and the NWA Southern Tag Team Championship. Jarrett's in-ring career lasted until 1988, though he occasionally returned to wrestle in the early 1990s within his own promotion. Beyond his wrestling prowess, Jarrett's biggest impact came as a promoter. In 1977, he founded the Continental Wrestling Association, CWA, in Memphis, Tennessee, which became a key regional promotion. Teaming up with the iconic Jerry Lawler, Jarrett helped revolutionize wrestling in the Mid-South, creating compelling storylines and drawing huge crowds. In 1989, he merged CWA with World Class Championship Wrestling to form the United States Wrestling Association, USWA, further expanding his reach. He eventually sold the USWA to Lawler in 1997. Continuing his entrepreneurial streak, Jarrett co-founded NWA TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, in 2002 with his son Jeff Jarrett, pioneering a new platform for wrestling entertainment. Later that year, he sold his controlling interest to Panda Energy International. Jerry Jarrett, leaving behind a legacy as a cornerstone of professional wrestling, one who helped shape countless careers and significantly influenced the wrestling world for decades. Mike Mantaur Halac, born on May 14th, 1968, in Omaha, Nebraska, was a professional wrestler best remembered for his brief yet unforgettable run in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, during the mid-1990s. Before making his mark on the national stage, Halac built his wrestling foundation by competing across various independent promotions in the US and Europe. In 1994, Halac signed with the WWF and debuted in early 1995 as Mantaur, a unique character that exemplified the over-the-top creativity of the era. As Mantaur, Halac portrayed a half-man, half-beast creature, complete with a large bull headpiece worn during his entrance. The gimmick emphasized brute strength and animalistic fury, with Halac's imposing size adding to the mystique. Mantaur quickly became a mid-card attraction, taking on notable names like Razor Ramon and Bam Bam Bigelow, and even competing in the 1995 Royal Rumble. Though the character initially garnered attention, it struggled to maintain long-term fan connection. By the end of 1995, Halac had exited the WWF. Post-WWF, Halac continued wrestling on the independent circuit, occasionally reviving the Mantaur persona. He also served as a trainer and mentor, contributing behind the scenes by guiding younger talent. Mike Halac, at the age of 55, has prompted fond remembrances from fans and peers, many of whom looked back at Mantaur with nostalgic affection. While the character's run was short, it remains a memorable symbol of the bold and often bizarre creativity that defined 1990s wrestling. Halac's legacy, though tied to a quirky gimmick, reflects his dedication to the business and the enduring charm of wrestling's most imaginative era. Mantaur may have been surreal, but he's not forgotten. Candi Devine, born on January 1st, 1959, was a trailblazing professional wrestler whose influence on women's wrestling still resonates today. She passed away at the age of 63, leaving behind a powerful legacy that shaped the sport for future generations. Devine rose to prominence in the 1980s and 1990s, showcasing her talent across major promotions such as the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. Her in-ring style was a dynamic mix of athleticism and charisma, earning her recognition as one of the standout performers of her era. She captured multiple women's championships throughout her career, proving herself against some of the top female competitors in the business. More than just a champion, Devine was part of a pioneering generation that helped elevate women's wrestling. During a time when opportunities were limited, she brought both flair and credibility to the women's division, paving the way for those who followed. Beyond the ring, Candi Devine was beloved for her kindness, professionalism, and generosity. She mentored aspiring wrestlers and was deeply respected by her peers for her commitment to the sport and her efforts to uplift others. Her positive attitude and dedication made her a role model to many within and outside the wrestling world. Devine's passing was met with heartfelt tributes from across the wrestling community. Her impact went far beyond title reigns. She helped change perceptions of women in wrestling and left an indelible mark on the industry. Candi Devine will always be remembered as a pioneer, a champion, and a guiding light for women's wrestling. Her legacy continues to inspire and empower, ensuring she holds a permanent place in wrestling history. Scott Hall, born October 20th, 1958, in St. Petersburg, Florida, was a groundbreaking figure in professional wrestling whose influence helped shape the industry's golden era. Best known for his charismatic swagger and the iconic catchphrase, "Hey yo!" Hall rose to fame in the early 1990s as Razor Ramon in WWE, then WWF. With a Cuban-Italian accent, gold chains, and a cocky demeanor, he captured fans' imaginations and went on to win multiple Intercontinental Championships. His in-ring skills and magnetic personality quickly made him one of the most beloved and coolest characters of the time. But Hall's greatest impact came when he jumped to WCW in 1996 and helped form the legendary New World Order, NWO. Alongside Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan, the NWO became a cultural phenomenon, kickstarting the infamous Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE. This edgy, reality-blurring storyline changed how wrestling was presented and consumed, making Hall a central figure in one of the most revolutionary periods in wrestling history. Despite his success, Hall battled personal demons, including substance abuse, but found a path to redemption in his later years with the help of longtime friends like Diamond Dallas Page. His journey inspired countless fans and peers alike, showing the power of second chances. Scott Hall, at age 63, following complications from hip surgery. His was a major loss for the wrestling world and his loved ones, including his son, Cody Hall. Today, Hall is remembered not just for his championships and charisma, but for helping transform wrestling into the global spectacle it is now. His legacy endures in every "Hey Yo" chant and every rebel faction that dares to shake up the status quo. Peggy Lee Leather, born on January 19th, 1959, was a trailblazing force in American professional wrestling. Known for her tough persona and adaptability, she made a name for herself across major promotions like WWF, AWA, WCW, and more. Wrestling under several aliases, including Lady X and Thug, Leather carved out a unique path in a male-dominated industry. Her wrestling career began in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, from 1980 to 1985. During this time, she formed a notable tag team with Wendy Richter, often challenging champions Velvet McIntyre and Princess Victoria. After parting ways with Richter in 1985, Leather shifted her focus to singles competition and pursued the WWF Women's Championship, though the title eluded her. Leather then joined the American Wrestling Association, AWA, where she continued to thrive. Her heated feud with Medusa Michelli gained attention, and she participated in a memorable lingerie battle royal at the Super Clash 3 pay-per-view in 1988. In the 1990s, she became a standout in David McLean's Powerful Women of Wrestling, POWW, rekindling her rivalry with Richter. She later competed in the Ladies Professional Wrestling Association, LPWA, where she captured the LPWA championship, proving her dominance as a top-tier performer. In 1997, she made a brief return to WCW, again facing off with Medusa in a bid for the WCW Women's Championship. In the early 2000s, under the moniker Thug, Leather performed in the Women of Wrestling WOW promotion, continuing to captivate audiences with her fierce in-ring style. She officially retired in 2013, closing the chapter on a remarkable wrestling career. Peggy Lee Leather, remembered as a pioneer who helped shape the landscape of women's wrestling and left a lasting legacy in the sport. Big John Studd, born Charles W. Studd on February 19, 1948, was a towering icon in professional wrestling, best known for his immense size and commanding presence. Standing at 6 feet 10 inches and weighing over 300 pounds, Studd was a natural attraction in the ring, captivating fans with his sheer physicality and dominant style. Studd began his wrestling career in the late 1970s and quickly rose through the ranks, making a name for himself in major promotions like the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. One of the most defining moments of his career came during his heated feud with Hulk Hogan in the 1980s. Their rivalry reached a fever pitch at the inaugural WrestleMania in 1985, with the iconic Body Slam Challenge. Studd offered $15,000 to anyone who could slam him, an offer that turned into one of the most memorable moments in early WrestleMania history when Hogan succeeded, electrifying the crowd. While often cast as a villain in the ring, Studd's charisma and presence made him a fan favorite in his own right. He was a two-time WWF World Tag Team Champion and frequently teamed with the legendary Classy Freddie Blassie. His legacy helped define the big man archetype in wrestling, a style that continues to influence the sport today. After stepping away from the ring Studd kept a low profile but maintained strong ties with the wrestling community. Sadly, he at just 47 years old due to complications from liver cancer. Despite his untimely, Big John Studd remains a legendary figure whose impact on professional wrestling endures to this day. In the world of professional wrestling, where grit, charisma, and resilience define legacy, few modern superstars embody these traits as naturally as Gianna Jean Daddio, better known to the WWE Universe as Liv Morgan. From her humble beginnings in New Jersey to the glitz of WWE's grandest stages, Liv has carved a path defined by passion, perseverance, and an unrelenting desire to defy expectations. Early life. A wrestling dream born in Elmwood Park, born on June 8, 1994, in Morristown, New Jersey, Liv Morgan's story begins far from the bright lights of WrestleMania. Growing up in Elmwood Park, she was one of 6 siblings in a tight-knit family. Wrestling wasn't just something she watched, it was something she lived. Inspired by WWE icons like Lita and Trish Stratus, Liv and her brothers transformed their backyard into a makeshift wrestling ring, recreating their favorite matches and dreaming big. Unlike many athletes with early access to trainers or sports academies, Liv's journey was rooted in raw ambition and self-belief. She worked various jobs, including time as a waitress and a fitness model, to support herself while never losing sight of her goal, to one day become a WWE superstar, breaking into WWE, a star on the rise. In 2014, Liv's wrestling dream took a massive leap forward when she signed a developmental contract with WWE. She reported to the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, a rigorous training ground known for turning hopefuls into stars. At first, she performed under the ring name Marley, making her debut on June 27, 2015. Shortly thereafter, she was rebranded as Liv Morgan, a name that would soon be etched into the minds of fans across the world. While her early days in NXT didn't feature headline wins or dominant streaks, Liv quickly stood out for her bubbly personality, relentless energy, and fearless approach to the ring. Her look, blonde hair, athletic build, and a mischievous smile, wasn't just eye-catching. It was magnetic. Liv was different. She brought a street-style flair mixed with a punky attitude, making her an instant favorite with younger fans and those craving fresh faces in the women's division. Liv's run in NXT included notable matches against the likes of Asuka and Ember Moon, giving her experience against high-caliber opponents. Though she rarely came out on top in those bouts, each match added depth to her craft and revealed an unteachable quality: resilience. The main roster call-up, the Riot Squad era. Liv Morgan's career shifted gears in November 2017 when she made her long-awaited debut on WWE's main roster. She appeared on SmackDown Live as part of a chaotic trio called the Riot Squad, alongside Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan. Their gimmick? Destruction, rebellion, mayhem. They stormed the ring, attacked top female stars, and made an instant impact. The Riot Squad weren't about finesse. They were scrappy, unpredictable, and rough around the edges. WWE needed a women's faction that brought anarchy and street fight energy, and Liv played her part perfectly. She was the youngest of the group, but also the most animated, laughing maniacally, leaping off the ropes, and taunting opponents with gleeful defiance. Though they were initially positioned as heels, the trio's chemistry and commitment turned them into cult favorites. Fans admired their authenticity. They weren't polished or perfect, but they were real. Unfortunately, like many factions in WWE, the group was split by the 2019 WWE Draft, leaving Liv on her own for the first time since arriving on the main roster. A solo journey and reinvention post-Riot Squad, Liv Morgan disappeared from WWE programming briefly. When she returned, fans were greeted with a different version of her. Gone was the blue tongue and punk aesthetic. In its place was a more grounded, emotionally complex character. WWE teased a storyline with Lana, one that garnered attention but fizzled out quickly. Still, Liv used the opportunity to show she wasn't just a sidekick anymore. Her in-ring work improved significantly, and she demonstrated that her character could evolve. Liv engaged in feuds with seasoned veterans like Natalya, proving she could hang with the best. Her performances became more physical, more layered, and more passionate. Slowly, she began to shed the underdog label and take her place as a credible contender. 2022, a defining year. Liv Morgan becomes champion. Everything changed in 2022. At the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Liv competed in the grueling ladder match alongside other top women stars. To the joy of her fans, who had long waited for her moment, she won the match, earning a contract for a championship match at any time. But Liv didn't wait long. That same night, after Ronda Rousey successfully defended the SmackDown Women's Championship, Liv shocked the world by cashing in her contract and pinning Rousey to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. The arena erupted. Fans who had been behind Liv from the start saw years of struggle, heartbreak, and perseverance finally pay off. As she held the title, her eyes welled with tears, not from pain, but from validation. Liv Morgan had arrived. She wasn't a sidekick, a squad member, or an afterthought. She was a champion, battling injuries, Liv's physical challenges. But success in WWE never comes without a price, and for Liv Morgan, that price has often been physical sacrifice. Like many superstars, Liv has endured her fair share of injuries. In 2023, Liv sustained a serious shoulder injury during a match with Raquel Rodriguez, forcing the duo to vacate the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The setback couldn't have come at a worse time, as Liv had just begun building momentum as a consistent competitor in both singles and tag divisions. Liv spent months rehabbing the injury, working behind the scenes to regain her strength and confidence. When she returned, she didn't just come back, she stormed back. Her comeback matches reminded fans why they fell in love with her in the first place. Her high-energy offense, her risk-taking, and her emotional storytelling in the ring. However, bad luck struck again. In early 2024, Liv suffered a serious eye injury during a match against Damage Control on Monday Night Raw. The incident led to immediate concern among fans and WWE medical staff alike. While the company has not disclosed full details, the seriousness of the injury led WWE to exercise caution, shelving her for an extended recovery period. Behind the curtain, rumors, roles, and speculation. Like most prominent WWE stars, Liv Morgan has been surrounded by a swirling cloud of rumors and fantasy booking. At one point, fans speculated she was poised to join the Judgment Day, potentially aligned romantically with Dominic Mysterio. The fantasy pairing was heavily discussed on social media, but the storyline never materialized, likely a casualty of shifting creative plans. Another persistent rumor was that Liv was on the verge of a heel turn, which would see her shed the lovable underdog persona for something darker and more ruthless. Though some fans welcomed the idea of an edgy Liv Morgan, others feared it would erase the unique charm that made her beloved. As of now, WWE seems content keeping Liv as a babyface, a character who earns her stripes through fight and fire. Outside of wrestling, Liv has dipped her toes into Hollywood, sparking speculation about a part-time WWE schedule. Though she has expressed interest in acting, Liv has also made it clear WWE is her home. The squared circle remains her first love. Mental strength, Liv Morgan's inner fight. While injuries and career detours are visible to the public, Liv Morgan has also battled challenges that can't be seen on a doctor's report. The mental and emotional toll of professional wrestling. Liv has spoken candidly in interviews about the stress of maintaining character, the grind of WWE's relentless schedule, and the emotional highs and lows that come with the territory. In an industry that celebrates toughness, Liv's honesty about mental health has made her even more relatable. She's shown that being strong doesn't mean being emotionless. It means enduring, adapting, and rising after every fall. Her openness has inspired fans, particularly young women, to believe in themselves despite the odds. Whether she's in the ring or connecting on social media, Liv's authenticity continues to shine. The road ahead, what's next for Liv Morgan? As Liv Morgan recovers from her most recent injury, anticipation builds around her eventual return. WWE has subtly teased her comeback, planting seeds for a big moment. Could she return at SummerSlam? Might she challenge a dominant champion or reignite a past rivalry? Some fans speculate a reunion with Ruby Riott, now Ruby Soho in AEW, could eventually happen if WWE ever reopens the forbidden door. Others wonder if Liv could lead a new faction, perhaps composed of fellow underdog stars, ready to shake up the women's division. One thing is certain, Liv Morgan's story is far from over. If anything, her most compelling chapters may still lie ahead. Conclusion, the legacy of Liv Morgan. In a business that often favors size, power, or celebrity, Liv Morgan's rise stands as a tribute to heart. She didn't come from a famous family. She wasn't a legacy hire. She built her brand with fire, flaws, and ferocity. From her backyard wrestling beginnings to holding championship gold, Liv's journey has resonated with countless fans who see themselves in her fight. She's battled through injuries, character resets, and doubt, all while remaining true to who she is. Liv Morgan's legacy isn't just about titles won. It's about battles fought, both in and out of the ring. It's about inspiring others to believe that no dream is too wild, no setback too crushing, and no voice too small. And as she heals, plans her next move, and sets her eyes on the future, fans can be sure Liv Morgan will rise again, louder, prouder, and more fearless than ever.